Welcome back, Charles. Overreaction Tuesday. This is what we're gonna have.
What
Made
a
it-
great sports weekend for us, bro.
It
Oh my
was
God.
the whole week, Thursday all the way through Sunday.
Thursday, all the way
It's
through
Sundays
Sunday.
today.
Sundays today. So I want to start the show off with a couple shout outs. Listen, for one, anybody who put any solace in the fact that I was just Rutgers, all right. They got smoked by Maryland, bro, like 42-14.
We had this argument about Rutgers and Maryland, and it come to find out Rutgers was fucking
really bad.
I didn't expect that.
I hate the SEC at times so much that it does allow me to become blind to a situation. And I remember the comments, fucking Houston or Rutgers, bro. Houston or Rutgers.
Come to find out they both suck.
But yeah, definitely. I wanted to shout that out there because, oh man, you were just yelling in my ear the entire time I was like clicking on that game, and I'm like, yeah, Pat, Rutgers does suck, man. I'm sorry.
Did they suck, or did it just finally?
It was really bad. It was okay in the first half, and then it was just like multiple blown coverages. It just really ultimately boils down to that thing we brought up on one of the episodes. What does it mean when it's the head coach's fault? Watch the Rutgers Maryland's game. That is like the exact definition of not having your team ready.
Yeah, for sure. Would you want to start a rumor right now that Matt Canada's heading back to Maryland? now that he's shit canned in Pittsburgh? We started it right now.
That's a good conversation too. Where does Matt Canada end up after that? Does he end up in D1?
He's a top offensive coordinator in college football for sure.
Yeah,
he's a college football because let's just be honest. If he goes to a team that has a good offense and a shitty defense, he'll do great.
He'll do pretty good.
Great. Maybe Colorado. Let's just say Colorado.
Texas A&M.
Yeah. Houston.
Colorado is so done. It's disgusting.
I've seen a lot of recruits leaving. That was the weird thing.
Yeah.
They're just like they're bouncing.
And Warren Sapp is going to come in and fix that D line.
If they don't get rid of the players, you're not fixing the D line. Come on, let's just be honest. I'm not going to be that person that dances around that subject. They're terrible.
Is Warren Sapp going to play? That might make a difference. Warren Sapp plays.
Did you see all of the disgruntled Colorado fans too? We're bringing in a felon.
Oh, dude. Yeah. There's a reason we don't hear about him. He's a Super Bowl champion. Yeah.
With Tampa?
You hear about most of these people often in his realm of players, right? Like you don't hear about every Super Bowl winning person, but like off the top of my head, from that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, right? If I sat here for 5 minutes, I could think of another player, but Warren Sapp's the only one that comes to mind right away.
They called him like the next Reggie White for a long time, and then all of a sudden his career just went right after he won that Super Bowl, went right downhill. So,
yeah, Matt Canada, that'll be hilarious.
Matt Canada, that's fine. They'll figure it out.
I'm interested in seeing how Pittsburgh plays today. But what was the other thing I wanted to jump on too? Who knows? I really wanted to push that Rutgers thing out because that's hilarious. And
we had a little overreaction with that one, and at least we settled that one. We both agree they both suck.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little overreaction. Let's go through some of these top games that obviously the whole reason for the overreaction thing is that there was a lot of teams that did not look good this past week that were supposed to be good.
So we're going to start with the NFL or college. Doesn't matter.
Let's just start. Let's just do the three games that I'll pick these three games that I just want to go over. The Alabama game, man.
Yeah.
About a fucking letdown if you're an Auburn fan.
Fire your head coach.
Do you blame your head coach for that?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That was the worst. Absolute. How many times have we talked about prevent defense, bro?
They were all right. The thing is, they were not in a prevent, but they were in some weird dime package. They had three safeties deep, but the guy was playing 20 yards off. The corner was playing 20 yards off the ball.
What a throw. and what a catch. That's one hell of a throw and one hell of a catch. But
you at least the pass interference so he doesn't catch it. If you're beat, you do it.
I guess my thought process when I said prevent defense, right? When I see 3 down linemen and everyone else drop back, when you drop 8 guys back,
and you've only got 5 guys to cover. Yeah.
You're preventing. In my opinion, you're in prevent mode.
Because you got 2 double covered,
which gave Alabama all the fucking time in the world.
Oh yeah, he sat back. He could have made himself a fucking ice cream cone back there.
He threw it because he had to, because there was nothing left. He didn't throw it because he had to, because he didn't have time. There was just nothing left.
When Mandy's watching that game with me and she's sitting in the chair and she's looking at it, she goes, dude, he's got all the time in the world to throw the ball. Exactly like you just said.
I just don't. And that's why I'm yelling at the coaches right now.
None.
No pressure at all. You've got to do a 4-man down, cross the 2 guys in, throw some confusion, get the quarterback's eyes off of the field for a few seconds.
To that point, what did Auburn do all game? They got to Milroe. They freaking got pressure. They sacked them.
I feel so bad. I feel so fucking bad for
that those fans had to freaking sit there and witness that.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel so bad.
And you know what? Alabama, you know what? Whatever. You guys are Alabama. Like Saban is one of the best probably the best coach all time. Like
Texas is in over. Texas is in over Alabama. Yeah, in my opinion.
Unless Alabama beats Georgia.
Yes.
Because they're the defending.
If Alabama beats Georgia,
but
I don't think Georgia's in the playoffs.
No, I think if it's because Georgia has not played good. That's our next one.
All
right, we're done with this one. It was a good football game.
No, it was a great football game. Well done, Alabama, for seizing the gap. Really, we talk about it all the time in driving, in sports. You and I yell often, "Seize the gap!" Alabama seized the gap, and it showed. Well done. But
the other one I wanted to
number 5 at best.
Yeah, the other one I wanted to touch on is, this is an overreaction because I think a lot of Texas fans are overreacting the fact that they beat the hell out of Texas A&M, or not Texas A&M, Texas Tech. Let's just be honest. Texas is like light years ahead of what Texas Tech is as far as like athletes. Texas's starting line is like all 5 stars. Their offense is all 5 stars. Their defense is all 5 stars. It's like going out there against the high school team. If you guys didn't expect that game, good luck, Texas. You're not going to make the college football playoff because you got to beat out 3 other teams to make it. So it's just not.
Long-haired Texas Jesus also hooks them for the horns there, Matthew McConaughey. And in that state, I guess he's Jesus. So
check these stats out. Texas had 57 points. Quinn Ewers only threw for 196 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And they had 57 points.
Yeah. Texas defense is pretty good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Top 10 for sure.
So I would love to see Michigan versus Texas in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really good game.
The only way Texas somehow sneaks in is if Georgia beats Bama, Washington
and Oregon
loses.
Yeah.
Washington loses to Oregon.
December 1st. It's a Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas only sneaks in if it's between them and Alabama. In Alabama,
Oregon is going to beat Washington on Friday. Oregon is going to beat Washington on Friday.
I don't know. I think Washington and Oregon are they already beat them. Washington already beat Oregon this year.
I know.
And they defensively, they beat them up. Yeah. So I don't know. Oregon is flashy. It's
Bo
the
Nix.
It's
Bo Nix. If Bo Nix is going to win the Heisman, if Bo Nix wins the Heisman,
I think Jaden Daniels is going to win. I think Jaden Daniels is going to win the Heisman for LSU. I think he's the best quarterback in college. He can do it with his feet. He can do it with his arm. He does throw a lot of picks.
What's LSU's record?
I don't know. They're 9-2 or 10-2.
Caleb Williams won it last year with a buttload of losses too, I guess.
No, I don't think LSU's that. But they're like 12th or 13th or something in the country. They're not terrible.
Yeah, to me, a Heisman is on a top 5 team.
The Heisman is just the best player. It doesn't necessarily mean he's got to be I guess he doesn't have to be on the best team. But yes, he's usually in the top 5. You would think top 5, top 10.
Right, because it's the same argument a little bit that we find that we're hearing about CJ Stroud can't be in the MVP conversation because his team is barely above 500. You don't expect an MVP in the NFL to be on a 500 team.
That just means he's put in a shitty situation. Like we both agree.
Oh, yeah,
on this.
yeah.
It should be up to the player.
I agree.
Like,
and absolutely. Is there a player playing better than CJ Stroud? And
well,
we'll
Charles,
get into this too.
Let's just be honest. Do you think even Patrick Mahomes could do what Stroud is doing with that team? Fuck no.
God, no.
Fuck
oh,
no.
God, no. I am not
He's not athletic enough.
I would not be against CJ Stroud winning the MVP, but the voters in this scenario hold true.
Oh, I know. It's a grudge. Yeah, it's a grudge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're up now. There's a chance to, we'll get into this. Actually, yeah, we're still talking.
You know what's the sad thing is? Yeah, I want to touch on one thing. Can I just ask you, do you feel the same way it is like that with Hall of Fame voting as well?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they shrug people, they snub them out for sure.
Definitely. Because boy from Cleveland, what's his name? That offensive lineman.
Oh, Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, from Wisconsin. Yeah. That dude is the best offensive. He might have been the best offensive lineman of all time. Didn't he make the Pro Bowl almost every year except for one season? And that season he was hurt. Yeah, 10 years, I think he was a Pro Bowler out of like 12 years. Crazy. Yeah. And he played on a terrible fucking team.
Terrible team.
He got to protect Johnny Manziel's backside for a season.
Terrible. We'll see how they treat him.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's going to be up here. He just retired a few years ago.
Yeah. He should be a first ballot. No question.
Yeah.
No question. If they're going to put Trent Williams in a no ballot, and that dude punched Richard Sherman in the face when he played for Washington, straight up walked to him with his helmet on and went, "I'm going to punch you in the mouth." And Sherman's, "Do it, bitch." And Trent punched him in the mouth and then went off to fucking the 49ers. Nobody talks about that. Seriously, Trent Williams may be the next Warren Sapp.
All right, Charles. And the other 4 overreaction games. I just want to get one word from all of the. I'm going to say the games, say the scores, and I just want one word from you because I think it's going to be funny. It's going to be a cool thing that we're going to do now. All right, Georgia 31, Georgia Tech 23.
Embarrassing.
Michigan 30, Ohio State 24.
Laughable.
Washington 24, Washington State 21.
Lucky.
And the last one, Florida State 24, Florida 15.
Broken leg.
Yeah. And you know what all 4 of those games have in common? Shouldn't have been that close.
No.
None of them.
None of them should have been that close. None of them should have been that close.
Throw rivalry out the fucking window. The only game that you can say should have been close because of a rivalry was the Michigan game.
Yeah, and there's
the rest of those.
We'll get into some definition.
I just want to be the asshole in the room, Charles, that says every other one of those games was a double-digit or more.
Oh yeah,
favorite. Michigan was a 2.5 point favorite going into that game.
We're both farting our ass on this one. You hear me? You heard me all podcast, all season long. Fuck that. I think one episode Georgia played really well, and it scared me. I think one episode, and I came on and I was like, I don't know, Georgia. But no, I agree. So we go to the Georgia Tech game. I said embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't think Georgia Tech's ever won. And I don't think it's ever been close. I think they lost by way too much. Who are they looking forward to?
I believe the Calvin Johnson year they might have been close.
Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech. Yeah. But who were they looking forward to? We're talking Georgia. Who were they?
Alabama, because that game's already been established. Alabama, probably.
But how did it matter? That's why I said embarrassing. I agree with you. But that's why I said it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing show.
I don't think that team's ready. I don't think they're ready to play Alabama. I think Alabama is going to whoop them. I think they're going to beat the hell out of them.
As long as the Alabama that played against Auburn doesn't show up, I think they have a really good fucking chance.
If Alabama shows up, if Alabama somehow makes the playoffs and they show up as the Auburn team, they're going to get smoked by no matter any of those 3 teams they play.
That's a long ass gray hair. Yeah, I agree. And also, too, on the same side as Michigan could get fucking what's that? TCU'd all over again if they don't.
Yeah, if they're not ready to play. But I feel like this team is way more focused than they have been in the past. But
I'm
here's
looking
the
at
other
this
thing.
team's focus as last year's Georgia's focused.
Right?
Georgia's team last year was so focused, bro. It was crazy.
Do you know the line for the Michigan-Iowa game is like 24? And the
24.
line, do you know what the total is? It's like 37. So they're
Yeah.
expecting like Iowa to score like 13. I'm like, no, that just means they expect Michigan to score 30. And they expect
Yeah.
Iowa to maybe get a field goal.
Iowa's going to get a field goal
30-3 or something. 31-3.
On a you know what that line is from though, right? If anybody's looking at that line, take the over, because I'm telling you, it's going to be the same conversation as last year, or that the conversation was last year, right?
Michigan will have the game in hand by halftime.
It's about the game. It's the same reason our line was effed up. That had a lot to do with the head coach not being there, about the Maryland game. Last year, before the game, it took J.J. McCarthy a game-winning fucking drive with a field goal at the end for us to beat Illinois.
So one thing I noticed in the Michigan game that they came out and actually said it, I think it was the Winged Helmet podcast or the show shout out to the Winged Helmet podcast. I believe he said something that Zinter, he was out. He got hurt, fibia, tibia. He's going to be out for 3 months. He should be on the sidelines in a cast for the Big Ten championship game. But they said that Barnhart was playing out of position the entire season, and they looked better on the offensive line when Zinter was out than they did with him. And apparently that was because Barnhart is a better inside run blocker and pass blocker than on the outside. You put him on an island, he can't move his feet.
Yeah,
he's not fast enough. But inside, interior lineman, it seems like he knows what he's doing. So
there's a small whisper about Michigan's team next year isn't going to be anywhere as good as this team this year. And it's the same. I think they'll be just the same thing that they were tougher. Absolutely, but it's the same thing that was said about last year's squad or this year's squad about last year's squad. Team 143 was, oh my god!
Everybody came back though. They only lost like 3 guys this year. They're going to have to lose them because they're seniors.
If you stay, you'll be a champion.
Yeah, but I think they got 6 or 7 guys that are seniors.
So, and you had brought that up too, and it was a really good point. Yeah, we got a lot of people leaving next year.
I'm not saying they're going to be bad.
I know that.
They're rotating 11 guys in on the offensive line, for God's sakes.
I was just about to bring that up. All season long, we've been playing a solid 74.5 because every once in a while, the backup long snapper couldn't come in.
Right, and they rotate 9 guys in on the offensive line, I believe, throughout the whole season as well, too.
So
that running back room is loaded.
I love how that system works. That system is constantly chugging towards the future. It's not always about right now, but then when the moment becomes right now, they lock in, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from the recruiting numbers and from the recruiting side. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so there was a lot of big recruits in house. Hopefully that Michigan does get Bryce Underwood from Harper Woods. He's from like some Grand Rapids or some Ann Arbor area. Anyway, definitely Bryce, come to Michigan. He seemed like he had a good time. I watched his Twitter. So hopefully they win another Big Ten championship here next week and go to the playoffs.
Shared it somewhere.
I seen Michigan has a 98% chance to go to the playoffs. Every other team that's in the top 5 is like 45 or 50%.
Damn it, I didn't save it. Yeah. Yes. And it's
because even with a loss, they're Michigan will still sneak in at 4.
Those entire stats frustrate me so much. So at the start of this week, Michigan had a 61% chance to win the game. But Ohio State had a 70% chance to make the college football playoff, and Michigan had a 55% chance to make the college football playoff.
Yeah, those tables have definitely.
They've well turned now, and they do every fucking year because it's a trash ass.
Charles, that is the Ohio State, famous Ohio State dude. Gus Johnson can just stop with the fucking. I can't stand it.
I've got almost 300 likes and almost 10,000 views on a personal tweet to Joe Klatt.
What did you say?
Oh my God. Just the truth. How terrible it was. How unbelievably unbiased his entire commentating was. How mind-numbingly frustrating. For the first time in my life, bro, I watched the entire second half on mute. Chris Collinsworth didn't even do that to me.
Even Ohio State fans were saying, dude, they're like, just shut up with the Ohio State. They're like, just call the fucking game. Just call the game.
What is happening to this is literally one of my notes, right? Because I'm so frustrated with commentators today. I'm like, you know what? I got to ask the question. What makes a good commentator? And are we just screwed? Because we grew up with greatness. We grew up with color commentating like Bob Uecker, fucking Jim Brandstetter, goddamn Vince Scully. The list goes on and on. And now today we're stuck with fucking Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt, who can't get their own heads out their ass literally to just talk about the fucking game.
Gus Johnson has been this bad since he's been doing college basketball too. Or college football. He's been doing college basketball. He's done it all. I think he's done NFL games as well.
They sit in a room, bro, with so much fucking technology that people in their ear constantly that could be dishing them out stats that actually matter. When Blake Corum broke the fucking single season Michigan rushing touchdown record, when I heard about it, after the graphic came on the screen, it was like a fucking afterthought to them. They didn't even realize what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. I think Klatt recognized it, but like you said, if you can't tell who the balls are in the room when you're listening to the two of them, it's obviously Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt's just there to go.
Yeah.
It's sad.
There's
it's
so many better people that could be. And again, too, we bring this into the NFL, into the MLB. We're not, as Michigan fans, yada, 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 yeah, we're pissed. There are thousands, tens of thousands of people with this exact. I've never seen this before on.
Oh, no, it was, they blew it up. They blew it up bad. It was like, I believe there was like 500,000 views on those negative responses between the Michigan and Ohio State calling of the game. Like they got bashed. Fox got bashed fucking hard, like big time.
And I tell you,
you pulling it up?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm over.
It's just they don't stop. It's just constant.
There's
a shit ton of retweets.
Just hit 10K views and 200 likes.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
On a post 5 hours ago.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
And this is what it says. You were absolutely terrible. You managed to do something not even Chris Collinsworth could do. I watched the entire second half on mute. You were completely one-sided and over the moon opinionated on Ohio State football, yet quiet as a field mouse when Michigan did anything. This was just the first half because, as I mentioned, the second half went well when I didn't hear your voice. I've never in my life heard such a biased reporting coming from such a major game. At one point, I was wondering if Gus was even in the room with you because your mouth was going off so much. I'm so glad I don't have to hear your voice anymore this season. If you manage to get another game that I have to watch, I'll just mute it. There is absolutely no need for me to listen to you anymore.
And I hope they hear that. Like they get negative feedback. You think they would as a news network and news media? They would at least take this into consideration that, but guess what? People still tuned in because that many people are complaining. Yeah.
And this was the tweet I replied to. Incredible scene for the game once again today. UMich football is relentless, physical, and incredibly well coached. That was a great college football game. So grateful to be a part of it. It's got over 336,000 views. It's got less than 44.8K likes, approaching over 300 different comments. Now you go into those comments and there's tens of thousands of shit
of threads. Yeah, there's different threads on there. Yeah,
so much going on in that post. You would just open it and you're like, wow. And every single fucking one is, yo, dude, I actually usually like you, but you were trash. I usually hate Gus Johnson, but you were trash. Like, you were trash. It's just unbelievable.
You can just comment. You can only just comment. Wow, what biased freaking announcing we had, and you'll get 200,000 freaking views because it's the truth. If it's not the truth, why are so many people going? I agree. Click. I agree.
And X is crazy, right? Yeah, I'm verified. You're verified. So our posts do get put out when things are trending. But the only way that they remain relevant is if they're following the
engagement
trend towards
they have
the
to be
truth.
Engagement. Yes,
absolutely. And so, call what we like to do on this podcast more than anything in the world is simply read the writing on the wall. You are who you tell us you are. We see you for your record, not for what the fucking media decides to talk with you about.
Right.
This something I wanted to bring up about Thanksgiving, which is crazy that we're not talking about the Green Bay Packers yet, but we'll get there, is the fucking Cowboys and Commanders. I am so sick and tired of this Dak Prescott hype. You have got to be fucking kidding me.
They get the easiest schedule. I swear they had the easiest schedule.
They played 9 teams under 500. Their combined record is like 24-59. And now the end of their season, these last 4 weeks, it's a combined record of 50-20 or 50-24. It's like almost the exact fucking opposite, right?
Yeah.
And they are 0-2 against teams with a 500 record or better, with a point differential of -47. The turnovers from Dak are out of this fucking moon. In the last 4 weeks, if y'all didn't have quarterbacks like Sam Howell and Danny fucking DeVito throwing your defenses pick sixes so Eric Bland could break the fucking record, everyone would be talking about Dak Prescott and where he's going next year.
Yeah. Don't worry, they'll be one and done in the playoffs like they always are. It's Dallas.
And
it's
the
Dallas.
hate Philadelphia is getting, bro, it makes no sense to me. Philadelphia is smacking teams with a winning record, and you still have people talking like the Cowboys are going to come out of that fucking division on top.
Whatever. I can't even. It's Dallas. My dad explained this to me too. He goes, "This is just the Dallas effect. This is what money does." You don't think Jerry Jones throws his weight around in that NFL when they're in that owners meeting and he says, "Hell, I'll give you $3.5 million to just say give us the easiest schedule in the division." Then they're all like, $3 million? I'll give you $3 million apiece. $3 million for each team. Fuck it.
You bring up a cool side quest right there.
I'm not saying that's what he does, but I'm saying he's got that kind of fuck you money that he could do that.
It definitely seems that way. It definitely seems like if I'm on television, I should talk well about Jerry Jones because I know come Christmas time, a nice little oil check will show up.
Sure. Yeah, we can say that.
That's exactly what
that's a possibility. It's actually not even speculation. That's probably more truth in that statement right there than there is in any other one that we've said today.
Because otherwise, what the fuck is going on? What?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Remember when they used to say that
win was how the 49ers beat the Seahawks, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Here, let's talk about it. What the fuck? The 49ers got to eat turkey after the fucking game. I saw Kittle going ape shit on some turkey. And then all of a sudden, let's talk about the Packers then. Let's talk about how Jordan Love got fucked out of a turkey leg.
How Fox fucked up yet again. Check this out. During the game, you gave one of those fucking turkeys to the front booth upstairs to the people in the fucking commentators.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And right on live television, you got Greg Olsen taking his hand and ripping that fucking turkey apart. And then a few moments later, you hear them both eating a little turducken.
Yeah.
The scuttlebutt is that Fox didn't think Green Bay could win. So the Detroit Lions logo was seared into the turkey that was meant to be given to the game players. But once Green Bay won, this is a scuttlebutt, bro. This is scuttlebutt.
I know, but why couldn't you just turn the turkey the other direction?
Why couldn't you just shave it up a little bit?
Because they did, probably like you said, they didn't want to be embarrassed on live TV.
They didn't want to be embarrassed on live TV, but that's well beyond the point now. How do you have in your booth on live television some dude with his monster bare hands ripping apart a fucking turducken? But on a Thanksgiving NFL tradition, you don't have a turkey leg for my boy Jordan Love? Are you? I like how
he played it off. That's all right. That's all right. I'll get another one. Another one. He said.
That is just so disgusting on so many levels. What the hell is going on at Fox Sports?
It's embarrassing.
Who the hell is running that show? Because the commentators at this point are terrible. Absolutely.
All right, Charles. Let's stay on the Packers. Congratulations to the Green Bay Packers. That was an absolute stud coaching job. Stud by the offense and the defense.
Thank you,
Joe
Jared
Barry.
Goff.
Props to you.
Props to you, Joe Barry, for allowing me to be right yet again, over and over again. Thank you so much, Joe. And on the opposite side of that, just as Patrick brought up, Thank you, Joe Barry, for putting my foot in my mouth. But I think all of the criticism was well-deserved. You needed a fire. You needed that push to do something different. And now you know what I've been hearing the last couple of weeks? Joe Barry has been disguising his blitzes really well. Oh my God, that shit works. You mean to tell me that
the thing you brought up week 4?
That you mean to tell me that you don't just throw a fucking formation out there anymore? That you actually disguise your shit? And oh my God, can you imagine what else could happen?
You got a coach? Shit.
You know what the Detroit Lions defense coordinator or the offense coordinator said? He goes, man, I got to give it up to fucking Joe Barry.
Capers.
I'm pulling out of a trash bag here. I'm not seeing one I'm grabbing. But anyways,
I'm too excited.
Fuck. I'm talking about recycling here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But anyways, they're talking about how this dude disguises shit well. He's been disguising things well the last little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Brings things to the table we don't see on tape. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God. You're not just going to Madden, grabbing a fucking playbook and bringing it to the table like it's yours. You're doing your job. And you know what? I'm so glad. My feet don't taste that bad. I've got good feet. At one point, I was told I had model feet. So if I got to put that fucker in my own mouth every once in a while, fuck it. And Joe Barry, thank you. I enjoy it. And Pat, thank you for bringing that up. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Fox.
Well, let's get on to the other part of it that Fox fucked up, Charles. Let's get on to Jack Harlow.
Oh, and
freaking
then
at the halftime show. God. Come out in a paper mache fucking igloo. And then this dude's rolling out behind him, and man, he's like, what the fuck is that?
Gotta put it on my shirt. Gotta put it on that. How about
dude,
that?
You are vanilla. You are the most cupcake fucking vanilla fucking white rapper I've ever seen in my life. Dude, and all these women on TikTok and hearing this song, and it's this is the guy you want for whips and chains. This fucking this hack.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
Oh my God.
So when the halftime shows were dropped out, right? You had Jack Harlow at Detroit. You had Dolly Parton coming in to fucking
who looked good, by the way.
And then you had Steve Aoki for the 49ers, right? Now my pre-rankings for the halftime show when
all right, give us your grades, Charles.
When Jack Harlow, Dolly Parton, and Steve Aoki. Now the reason for this was I figured Jack in Detroit was going to rip. Dolly was in Texas. She was going to be just fine. But Steve Aoki was at an NFL game bringing the beats.
That's right.
I'm like, what, was everyone going to be in the stands doing this? Yeah. Then after all the shows went out, Jack Harlow trash. He was bottom of the barrel. I don't know if that was Fox's fault. Don't care. That was not a halftime show. That was a promo. It was a fucking promo. That's all. It was a
terrible promo. If anything, that would be like, I don't think I want to go to his concert now.
So I love Dolly Parton. I'm going to keep her at number 2, but she needs to get the hell out of rock. Just stop.
Dude, but dude, she's like 85 years old. She's like as old as Willie Nelson, for God's sake.
She made a rock album. I love it. Bless her heart. Just stop it. Well done, though, Dolly. But the number 1 fucking halftime show ended up being goddamn Steve Aoki. And the little bit that I saw, the lasers going crazy.
Dude, he's a crazy DJ.
I love Steve Aoki, dude. It had absolutely nothing with my feeling. I just figured it wasn't an NFL thing. But god damn, that whole stadium was going nuts. And it was the only show, realistically, that you didn't look at.
Yeah.
Oh man, bless your heart. It's the only goddamn show.
I think what people were more pissed about with the Jack Harlow thing is what the fuck? That stage setup was terrible. Like, terrible. It looked like they said it looked like
America at Home got a better show than if you went to the actual game.
Yeah, I'm sure that they tried to AI it up a little bit to make it look
it was like camera angles and sound. Bro, I watched a handful of videos on X of people like on the opposite side of the field. The stage wasn't in the middle of the field either. It was on
they had it
one
like set
specific
up
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like all of the so you had North End and South End. The
so
stage
they got
was
super
in the
lazy
North End.
with the whole thing, the whole setup
and
in the
whole
stage.
Show was projected towards the North End, not East, West, or South. So if you were in the South End zone and let's say 20 rows up,
so they half-assed the entire thing.
Yeah. At one point, you may have thought Mike Brown was out there. You couldn't hear.
Nice. Unbelievable that they would fuck it up that bad on Thanksgiving.
Terrible. Well done, Fox.
It's the
Fox
first game.
Sports.
It's
Well
the
done,
first game.
Fox
It's when
Sports.
everybody's freaking sitting down, enjoying themselves.
Well done, Fox Sports.
Pre-game.
No
Yeah.
turkey. Fucked up booth. Fucked up
It's
halftime show.
that's the other thing, Charles. It's the first one, the first game of the fucking weekend of Thanksgiving, and you guys don't have the turkey.
That halftime show extended the game because for some reason it lasted longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah, I realized the game didn't come on for like an extra 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. You could not fucking now the NFL picked the halftime shows. I don't want to fucking hear it. The NFL fucks up a lot. Fuck them. I don't care. This is Fox Sports. Fuck them. Now let's get back to the game. Jared Goff plays absolutely wonderful football. He plays so good that after taking a team to the Super Bowl and almost winning, their front office went, let's go get Matt Stafford, and then won a Super Bowl. Okay, so let's remember that stat. So it really wasn't until this year and a little bit into last year that Jared Goff started winning outside in the cold, which now coming back into fruition, or as we also like to say, reality. Geno Smith is eating a big reality pill. Jared Goff is who his record says he is. Jared Goff is on fucking paper who he says he is. You're not going to take somebody who has the same stats in high school, the same stats in college, and the same stats until halfway through last year and a little bit of this year on fucking paper and go, yeah, he's totally different. No, he's going to be who he is. And who he is 7 fucking turnovers in 8 quarters. 7 turnovers in 8 quarters.
I really don't understand how they can't realize that he's not a terrible quarterback. He's an average quarterback.
And that
can
right
they not
there,
see
I think
that?
is where we lose everyone, bro. I think that's
so.
Absolutely it. Because hearing me, you're like, oh man, he's saying Jared Goff is trash. No, the fuck I'm not. Jared Goff is much better than I would say. Jared Goff is a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah, but that's what he is.
But he's a top 15, which puts him
you
between
can't
10
paint
and
him
15.
gold. Yeah,
he's between 10 and 15 on that scale for all of our listeners. Just because I'm saying top 15 doesn't mean he's somewhere between 1 and 3. I'd say he's a top 3 quarterback or a top 5 quarterback.
You're like, I'm saying 14, 15.
Absolutely. And I'm being generous because playing quarterback in the NFL is very hard.
And let's just be honest too. The Lions can score. They have one of the best offenses in the league, but that is not because of Jared Goff. That is because collectively they have a lot of weapons. They have a lot of good players, but their defense is below average.
Absolutely.
It's not great.
And if you have to have Jared Goff winning you the game, are you going to win more of those than lose?
No, you're not.
No, I think so. Yes, absolutely. You're going to win more of those because you're going to play teams like the Bears. You're going to play teams. Yeah. But when you're down to the good teams, you're going to lose. When you're down to the good defensive teams, you're going to lose because Jared Goff is going to throw that fucking interception, or the fumble's going to happen, or the miscue is going to happen between him and a wide receiver. That is who Jared Goff is.
The reason we're saying between you and me, do you agree with me on this one? Yeah. The reason we're saying he's an average quarterback is that because he plays in the NFC North? No. No, you think if he played in another division, if he played in the NFC South, he'd be just as good?
Yeah. He is an average quarterback through his career. He's proven.
Yeah. His stats pretty much tell you that.
Right. But
I just can't see Jared Goff on the Jets, he would be better, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. The system in Detroit is feeding Goff. And that's a kicker. And you're going to do
you believe it's Hendon Hooker's time next year?
No.
You don't think so? They think they still roll with Goff next year. I don't know. I feel like they're going to at least try it.
It's about a ceiling. Arguably, we're talking about a ceiling here, and where's the bottom floor? Henderson Hooker's bottom floor is much lower than Jared Goff's is right now. I mean, but it's hard to hear that out loud.
I guess that's going to depend, though, if they tank and somehow miss out on the playoffs to Minnesota.
Looking at
if they lose that division to Minnesota, you might see Hooker next year.
Looking at their schedule and looking at Minnesota's schedule, the only reason this isn't in a conversation with many other people is because they managed to beat a really shitty Bears team.
Yeah, barely.
They came back and Jared Goff, the savior. Yeah, extend that motherfucker, because there's a whole bunch of reasons why that's going to make the green and gold happy.
I didn't even look at the Lions schedule the rest of the way. Did you happen to take a peek?
It's tough.
They've got the Saints, the Bears, the Broncos, the Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings. That's not that easy.
Broncos is probably going to be a loss unless they get their shit together. Broncos is going to be a loss.
But you're at the Cowboys as well.
At Cowboys, that's a toss-up, because I don't know who the Cowboys are. We'll know who the Cowboys are by that week.
That's true. But they got to play the Vikings. They got to play the Vikings. Man, they're just going to get beat up, though.
There's a massive possibility the Vikings lose. I'd say there's about a 48% chance the Vikings or the Lions lose 4 of those last games.
And here's the Vikings schedule the rest of the way. Monday Night Football, Chicago. The Raiders, Cincinnati, Detroit, Green Bay, Detroit.
So you're like, Minnesota
they don't have the easiest schedule either.
Minnesota should beat Green Bay. Let's be honest. I love what Green Bay's been doing. We'll know who Green Bay is by that.
Should beat them. That doesn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the Lions should have beat them.
I can see 2 losses for the Vikings and 4 for the Lions. If we get 2 losses for the Vikings and 4 for the Lions, the Vikings take the division.
Yeah.
But
it's those head-to-head games that are going to matter the most.
Somehow or another, the Green Bay Packers are figuring out how to not
still in it.
Enjoy
They're still in it. They're still fucking in it.
Top 10 draft pick, and we're still in it. We're not only just in it, we're the first knocking on the door still in this.
Charles, the Packers are only not favored in 1 of their last 7 games.
Right.
Only 1 game. And that's the next game, Kansas City game.
And it's very winnable. It's very winnable.
Kansas City's only a 4-point fucking favorite in that game, because their defense is playing that much better and their offense is figuring shit out.
Very winnable.
I can see if this game next week in Green Bay is a blizzard, shitty, windy motherfucking game, I can see that Packers defense beating Kansas City.
Looking at our weather for projected, it is.
She's going cold, huh?
But it's Kansas City. Kansas City.
It's Kansas City. It's Mahomes. He'll find a way to hit Kelsey for a fucking.
But he hasn't been.
Tutty.
But he hasn't. No. They have not scored in the 4th quarter, bro. And they have a terrible second half offense, the worst in the league, or top 3 worst second half offense.
Right, and Green Bay is riding high. They are fucking confident.
And if anything at all, Green Bay's on the opposite end of that spectrum. We don't score many points in the 1st and 2nd quarter. Thank you, Lions. Somehow or another, I'm looking at this game, 2 minutes left in the 1st quarter, and it's 20 something to 3 or 6 or 9, whatever the fuck they manage. You want to know why this happened, though, bro? Do you know why? We voodooed the fuck out of it. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We said it straight up. We said we both want Green Bay to win. So the only reason we're doing that is because on this podcast, the whole season, if we pick Green Bay to win, they lose. And if we pick them to lose, they win. So we picked the Lions. That sounds like we picked the Packers.
We did. But we picked against them so that they'd win.
So that sounds like we picked the Packers to win that.
It does sound like it, even though we were probably picking with our brains and not with our hearts.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. For everyone out there,
don't worry, we'll get back.
I've got the L. After 2 weeks, that I chose the Lions and I got the L. But
I can't wait. I can't wait for Tuesday. I did get a hold of Paul and Mike, and he's going to text Mike and see if he's available Tuesday night.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I really do. That we touched on it earlier with this Philadelphia thing. That heat, that energy. That's something I want to bring up with them. And the Bears' outlook right now is phenomenal. Their future is very bright. I'm talking, we might be battling Chicago. Green Bay and Chicago might be battling for the North for the next 6 years. And I mean,
I can see the entire league getting halfway decent, and they'll all be competing for playoff spots at some point.
Talk to me Thanksgiving next year about the Lions. I don't have faith in the Lions only because of how much talent in the coaching office is on that sideline, and they're about to be fished. They are about to be fished, bro. I'm telling you, I think Ben Johnson's gone. I think he's going to be going to the Chargers. You can't tell me Staley's going to stay there. You can't tell me they're keeping Staley. If they keep Staley, That'll
It's
be
a
an interesting
miracle. It's a
conversation. Yeah.
miracle if they keep Staley with the fact that there's teams going to be needing coaches for sure.
You just can't.
He's not gonna jump at an extra mil from the Lions when he can make 6.5 to 7 being a head coach. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
And that's the LA Chargers. And
Yep.
and also we do this is a writing on the wall moment. Ben Johnson is a really good African American coach. And the NFL is bleeding for African American head coaches. And I think Ben Johnson is right there. I think
he's ready.
It.
He's ready. He's definitely ready.
I want it to be known. I don't give a fuck what your skin color is. That he could be fucking orange for all I care, or yellow or pink or green, doesn't matter. Ben Johnson has gotten where he's gotten because of who he is, not because of what he looks like. And I want that to be known heavily. But the writing on the wall in the NFL is this equality thing, and righteously so. And I think Ben Johnson deserves that position.
Right. There's a couple more of them that are going to probably be gone. A couple defensive coordinators that are seeing the writing on the wall there too. I don't want to mention them because I think that's just a topic for another story, another segment, but we'll get into the whole maybe closer to the end of the season.
Jared Goff does not play well when he's with an offensive coordinator for the first time.
Right.
It doesn't. So I'm not sold on the Lions. I'm not betting on the Lions, but I'm not giving away them yet because they are a good football team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have a really good head coach. And it appears that their organization could be trending in a very good direction, but you haven't proven anything yet. You haven't won anything yet. You haven't shown me anything other than you are who you've been since 1962. No, that's when you were good.
And I don't think that they're not going to end up clinching that division. It doesn't seem like probably until the second or maybe the second to the last week of the season because of the fact that they don't play all their division games until the end of the season. So it's gonna get dicey for sure for the Lions. If they lose another one, it's
gonna be a roller coaster.
It's gonna be up and down.
Who do they play next week?
Detroit, I believe they go to. I believe they play the Vikings.
Okay.
It is. Hold on here.
Does Josh Dobbs come down to reality?
Yes, that's true.
I can't keep saying that. Josh Dobbs is a good quarterback.
Yeah,
Josh Dobbs is smart, and he's played really well. He's mobile as fuck, and Detroit has a really hard time with mobile quarterback. Man.
Yeah, it's the same. Actually, it's the Saints, and then they go to Chicago and play the Bears again. So it was Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears. Then it's Broncos. Dude, they got a rough. That's not going to be an easy game going into New Orleans and just trying to steamroll them. I think they're going to win, but it's not going to be as easy as they believe it's going to be. I think that they're coming back down to reality, like you said. The Detroit Lions are definitely starting to see teams are figuring them out offensively.
I heard this, the NFL Network, or no, actually, I heard. I think it was Irving. I think it was Irving on Undisputed. But anyway,
oh yeah,
he said the game is a hell of a lot different when you're no longer hunting, and you are now the hunted. And Detroit is no longer hunting. Let's be real. Detroit is a good football team. They're not out there hunting. They're playing tough.
Yeah.
They're hunting for a Super Bowl. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. No, teams are now hunting Detroit. And this is a completely different reality.
You're getting chased.
It's a completely different world, right?
That's kitty cat season.
I've attempted many times to write a poem or a book or a small thing, a haiku, whatever the fuck, about how disappointing it is as a fan of a team who's a preseason favorite for a championship, and then to watch that team unfold thinking, why are all these smart fuckers coming from and why is this happening? It hurts way more than what we're going through right now. Hell, this is a fun roller coaster.
We were expecting this. We were exceeding expectations right now. So
hey man, I don't give a fuck. We just played musical chairs or not. That seat is hot. And as a fan, it fucking sucks. It sucks no matter what, because everything inside of you is like Super Bowl. And then the whole season does everything it can to make sure the Super Bowl doesn't happen. And you're like, what is this reality, man? So if one of y'all Lions fans out there decides how to write a poem or some shit, figure it out.
Or Buckeye fans. Or Buckeye fans.
Shout out to our buddy Brent We will be getting him on the show soon. He's our hardcore Lions fan. We love him to death.
Sure, you should hit him. You should hit him up for Tuesday, since we're gonna have a couple Bears fans and a Philadelphia fan on there as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely. We'll get him on soon, because we're hard on the NFC North. We're mediocre on our Green Bay Packers, but that is what it is. So let's get to the great things about that Green Bay Packer game. I love what I'm seeing from Jordan Love. He's learning. He's going through his progressions.
I
love the play
Jaden
calling.
Jaden Reed. Let's shout out a guy who I saw a lot of in the preseason. I saw a lot of promise, but man, Wicks is a dog. He is willing to go in there and take a hit across. He is our slant guy. He is the guy willing to go in and take it.
And our head coach pulling his head out of his ass. We have been strong supporters of Matt LaFleur on this show. We have been, but we've also been hard on Matt at times. And again, just in the Joe Barry situation, deservedly, his play calling has been pulled out his ass. There are a couple of situations where I'm like, you got to stop throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage on like 3rd and 2 and shit, trying for that fake ass home run.
Here's the crazy thing about that game. That the Green Bay Packers came in with so many Band-Aids on that offensive line, defensive line.
I mean, the shit Dylan did that game.
Yeah, they came in with one running back.
And that running back had a nutsack problem, I think, or a groin injury, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy
all the way up to it.
Yeah.
But man, he has been running like a dog. And AJ was getting some shit about that farm simulator on his off days, yada, yada, yada.
Whatever. That is the funniest shit ever. The dude just loves being a guy.
I love that.
He just loves being a guy. It's great.
Our defense is talking. Our defense is moving. There are still moments where you're like, where is this coming from? What the fuck happened the last 3 drives, right? But we at times have to realize that there are professionals on the other side of the field, and on the other side. Is it your cat?
What's that?
Is it your cat?
Oh no, Manuel, the dog was in here. He was hanging out, laying on the floor, taking a nap.
But anyways, you got professionals on the other side of the field, and we had just talked about how amazing Ben Johnson is. For him to pull together those drives at the end of the game, that's fantastic. And just like the Ohio State game, which we're going to get to here very soon, just like that Ohio State game, it ended up coming down to our quarterback played better than the other quarterback. And that's exactly what it boiled down to.
He didn't make mistakes. You can't make mistakes in that game.
Absolutely not. So I love
my butthole. I'll say my butthole was puckering, man. When Ohio State got the ball back with a minute to play, I said, they've got the best wide receivers in the game. And then
they've literally gotten a penalty on fucking every drive they've scored on.
Dude, Marvin Harrison Jr. is ridiculous. The dude got mauled and he caught the ball with one fucking hand. I am so glad that he has gone to the NFL next year. Dude. I'm so happy.
If they had Ohio State had a quarterback that could move while processing the field, we would have been.
He's not going to be their quarterback next year. They have that guy coming in. I can't remember his name. He's got a crazy quarterback name, but Michigan probably isn't going to have the same quarterback either. McCarthy's probably going pro. So
we had 13 NFL scouts at that game, and let me tell you,
that's because of both teams.
My heart, the entire day. Dude, about halftime, I went in and told the wife, I said, baby, we're not doing anything the rest of the day.
You know what? It's sunk in for me that this game is going to come down to the last minute when they went up 24-17, because I watched Ohio State go down the field with just throwing these little shit passes. And I was like, that defense is looking a little tired. Little laggy. Not that they were playing bad, because it was just nickel. They were nickeling and diming it up the field like the Bears.
Something happened to Will Johnson too, man. After,
they're probably going to sit him out against Iowa, but I bet you it'll be almost a month before they play again. So they might as well just rest.
But I mean, I got to point all this out. Ohio State had the whole fucking tank on their side, bro.
Yeah,
they had the whole tank. We had our head coach gone. We had injuries. Zach left. Fucking Will Johnson wasn't on the field for a bunch of those plays.
Will Johnson wasn't on the field for the last 2 series for Ohio State when they had chances to score and win.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Okay.
say what you want
Marvin
about that
Johnson got his
stupid
anytime
fucking
touchdown, and he got 100
yeah.
yards because he arguably is the best offensive player coming out of the college football this season.
I don't
mean,
think people realize that they were trying to go to him a lot, and he was covered.
he was just covered. He was just covered.
Eh,
We did what no other team figured out. Listen, we got our guy, but our guy needs help, and we gave our guy help. And
Right. You don't
worked.
that's the thing that I don't think people that watch college football. Obviously, I think a lot of analysts, even ESPN guys, were like, it's not that easy to cover frickin' Marvin Harrison Jr. when he's the guy.
And now we're saying all of this, and he still got 118 yards and a fucking touchdown.
Did you
The
know that
dude
Ohio
is
State
a
also
dog.
got 2 players back? They got 2 players back that they didn't have against Minnesota. So they were actually Ohio State was healthy, the healthiest they've been all
The
season.
healthiest they've been all season. They had the coaching staff, they had the atmosphere, they had really the momentum
And let's
somehow
talk
or
about
another.
that. Let's talk about that, Charles. Let's talk about this coaching staff and the fact that
you know-
Sharon Moore called the perfect game. Dude,
Halfback toss.
that orgy freaking jet sweep,
Oh,
dude,
the
that was
orgy jet
fucking
sweep,
crazy.
The halfback toss. He was in the second half.
How about
that
those balls
dude
to go for it
channeled-
on 4th down?
That dude channeled Jim Harbaugh. I
Dude.
can't even explain it in any other way. But in the second half, Sharon Moore came out and coached like he never
Yeah.
coached before. And I
But-
agree, he might go somewhere else. But
Yeah, I believe
I
if the opportunity is there, like you said, he's gone.
Yeah,
But he's not going to just he's not going to do this and give
No,
Michigan
I
the
don't
middle
think-
finger.
the kicker is that if it's not a great head coaching position, I don't think it's going to be anything at all.
Right, because Oregon State would be the only one that's open that's probably going to be the real decent chance, and they're going to be an independent basically
because
next year.
I've heard that Oregon State's head
They're gonna-
coach is
they're gonna
in
have a-
position for
Yes. Oh no, he already
Michigan
signed.
State?
He signed. He is Michigan State's John Smith or something, or Jason Smith. He's Michigan State's next head coach. That was confirmed during the Michigan game. Yeah.
Michigan State it must have
Has
been
a
in the
head
second
coach.
half. Was it in the second half? Yeah, because the shit was muted.
I don't know. It was speculation, and then they said it was confirmed. I think it was Klatt said it at halftime.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it is confirmed. It's
After
100%.
after the first half, and I'm not saying that I even listened to the halftime, bro. I'm
Yeah.
saying once the first half ended, I muted the television.
But
So
that's
whatever was said afterwards,
justifiably
at
so,
halftime,
yes.
whatever was
That's
said at
fine, it's
halftime and
fine.
afterwards, I
I
can't tell
didn't
you
want to
one
listen
commercial.
to it either.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you one commercial. I can't tell you one fucking thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I just kept doing this.
Yeah. We're both in agreement that was a great coaching decision to go for it on all those 4th downs, to just instill has to be the most defeating thing about the whole game, is that they couldn't stop Michigan on 4th down.
Dude, and I got to give it up to the Ohio State fan base. About 60%, a little over 60% of the Ohio State fan base.
Oh, for coming back down to earth, yeah.
Very, very humble, very the receipts that all of us have kept. Quite a few people went out and handed out receipts. They were all paid. They were paid in full. I mean,
well, let's shout out the truth too. Let's shout out I'll give Ryan Day props for what he did too. He went in and gave Zach Zinter's parents a hug and told them safe, hope that he recovers, and hope he has a great NFL career, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's just a game.
It's just,
And
I've seen multiple Ohio State
gone.
fans shouting out prayers for Zach also.
Well, yeah, they were praying for him on the field. Yeah.
And
a lot of good teamwork, a lot of good
first
sportsmanship.
time in my life, I don't think Ryan Day got out coached. I just think our players
They got
were
outplayed.
more hungry than the other team. I don't think this falls on Ryan Day at all. And it's why if he ends up going to Texas A&M, that's Ohio State's loss. That's a huge loss for Ohio State. He might do fine down there. we're very hard on Ryan Day. I laugh. I joke about it all the time. He's 1-3 versus Michigan. His only fucking win against Michigan was with Urban Meyer's recruits. And you also had brought up that his recruits are actually better than Urban Meyer's.
Yeah, they've done better without Urban Meyer than they have. And I think Urban will even touch on that too. He's had better recruits. Yeah, he definitely had better recruits. But I think the landscape has changed in college football. You can't just win with 5 stars anymore.
Yeah. Up until this fucking the game, it's been Ryan Day's fault. It really has. And it is funny too. Check out this harmonic scene. The Notre Dame game was such a good win. The Notre Dame game was such a good win.
That was Gus
Notre Dame
Johnson.
had 10 players on the field in the last drive. Look what happened when you put 11 players on the field in the last drive. Michigan sealed the fucking deal.
I watched a couple Ohio State players go on Twitter and like comment on stuff. Even they don't believe that Ohio State is deserving to make the playoff, even if they were to somehow sneak in.
No, there was a
they
poll
were like,
done
no,
by the
man,
Buckeyes
this is
in the fan base. Yeah, over 61,
they're so defeated because this is their Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, and whatever you want to say about the national championship, the Big Ten championship, whatever you want to say about all them damn championships, you say
we
whatever
don't care.
the hell you want.
The Big Ten championship is the one that matters the most to Michigan.
Right.
The national championship brings in recruits.
Right.
But so does this.
The game is a playoff game before all other playoff games.
This is the last year that it's going to be that, though. It is, because with 12 teams going to
for everyone but us, I agree.
No. I'm saying this is the last time that it's probably going to have that implication. Do or die. Yeah. I'm saying do or die.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You could have 2 or 3 losses and be in the playoffs next year. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. But there's just something about this year, man. You really want this. Everybody wants the first one. Fuck that. I want the last one. People remember the first one after you go and look it up and talk about it, right? But everybody.
And guess what? We won the first one too, 34-0. So, and we won the last one, 30-24. So,
it'll be so.
What did you say?
Win 1001.
Yes,
is way sweeter than win 1-0.
Did you see Barstools that Dave Portnoy put on that shirt? It says men versus boys, and it has a crying Ryan Day with all 3 of them. Dude, that shirt is fucking hilarious. That is great. Yeah. I want one, but I'm not paying $90 for a fucking hoodie. Like,
no.
Not that
I love what they do. I love what they're doing. But just like I wasn't paying $350 for a fucking pizza buffet, I'm going to CC's. I'm not paying $90 for a hoodie. I'm going to Champion.
Right. No shit.
Or Fanatics, by the way, who has fantastic codes all week long.
I started the freaking, I hate the fucking double shot vodka fucking Don or whatever the fuck his name is. Him and I got a little beef going on Instagram and Twitter. It's fine though. He's an Ohio State fan. He can proclaim that all he wants, but like I said, there's nothing higher than what's higher, his cholesterol score or his IQ? And I'm going to go with cholesterol. So, yeah,
blood alcohol content.
Probably BAC.
Tuesdays.
Yeah,
BAC on Tuesdays.
It's your BAC too high.
I tell you, we're not unreasonable fans. We understand when shit goes wrong. We understand.
We're passionate, Charles.
We're passionate, absolutely.
And so we're a lot of those Ohio State fans. So.
But passion at times blinds us to reality. Right. And these mother truckers have been living in the goddamn Kool-Aid packet for, I don't know, a really long time. It was funny. And one of the tweets I did see this morning was how I'm feeling right now after 3 straight losses is unimaginable. And thinking back at Michigan during the Urban Meyer years, knowing that they had 5 more to go, I have no idea how I would survive. That was some dark times, bro. That decade was dark.
There was a long period for Michigan fans, but we never gave up hope.
No, that big house was mighty, regardless, and it was always.
One thing that I want to point out.
I'm so glad
one thing I want to point out this year compared to in 2021 when we played Ohio State and beat them, there was about 20% Ohio State fans in Ann Arbor because we were not expected to beat them. This year, That script flipped like you wouldn't fucking believe. I did not see. I saw a little bit sprinkled in, and then a bunch down towards the corner of the end zone where they always get those tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really hard to find Ohio State fans anywhere.
Yeah, they were loud. Sharon Moore, that was great too. Reese says, "I want you to show up early and be the loudest you ever been." That was fucking great.
Favorite segment of College Game Day? I did not watch College Game Day. I will not be watching College Game Day anymore.
And here's the other thing:
I watch Fox Sports Game Day now. But
how come Woodson showed up on Fox Game Day?
What do you mean?
Is he part of both?
I've only ever seen. Well, Woodson was a guest speaker at times on the other one, and
I was going to say I only saw
him
him on Fox.
He came in because he's a Michigan man, and way too many people were talking smack.
I think he came in to talk shit with because Urban Meyer was there.
Yeah, but
he comes in there just to do that. Yeah,
I loved seeing him, but yeah, I've definitely watched Fox. But I noticed that Desmond Howard was getting a little bit of heat for calling out Pete, but fucking deservedly. Fucking
that is great.
Pete said some really shitty things, and so did Reese fucking Davis, by the way. And the scuttlebutt on that was early as F in the morning. The game day crew minus Desmond Howard received multiple profanities, and it continued
they showed up
throughout the day. UM showed up as proud as we could have possibly imagined. I'm glad they didn't go the boycott route. I'm glad they went the opposite route and packed it and shoved fudge in their face. And when Desmond Howard went after sneaky Pete Thamel, Mr. breaks the damn law all the time. Oh, I'm just on the receiving end of this news, magically was hidden in the stadium, surrounded by multiple security. Get the fuck out of here, bro. For one, you're a college football
move,
reporter, dude. What did you think was going to happen to you? Did you think we were going to pour a little bit of milk on you, Petey boy? Get the hell
you went to the wrong game. You should have went to the Vanilla concert. You should have went and watched your boy Jack Harlow. You fucking twit.
And thank you, Desmond Howard, for just being who you is. I have a feeling Desmond isn't going to be on College Game Day for very long, not very much longer, not because he doesn't want to be there and not because
they're going to force him out because he doesn't join the narrative that they want. He doesn't push that college football bullshit. Narrative.
And Fox would love to have you. I know he went, we're hard on Fox Sports. I get it. But if you're not hard,
we're not nearly as hard on Fox. Fox doesn't treat the fucking athletes and the players and the fans like shit. They just have shitty announcers. That's all.
Oh, absolutely. They've got their problems.
We just rip on the announcers.
We're not looking for perfection here, all right? Because if I was looking for perfection, I'd go to the dentist every 6 months. Instead, I want to punch one every 6.5 months.
I don't hate Gus Johnson. I just don't want him calling my football game.
I love Gus. I think he grew up a Michigan fan. Personally, Gus Johnson is a great dude. And I think Joel Klatt is as well, personally. Many people have great things
Charles, I think somebody brought this up. The reason. Yes. Did you hear that some people say that he brings up the world famous Ohio State University is like a slap in the face because he knows they're going to lose. So he brings it up intentionally. I'm like, but it doesn't seem that way when you're saying it. So
the fact that he is such a big Michigan fan, and this is what I've been finding out over the last couple of days. The reason that
it doesn't seem like it.
Right. But he's doing that to maintain his integrity.
Yeah, but you're going the opposite direction. It doesn't
kind
make
of put
any
a little
sense.
extra heat on it, Gus, that you could take off, man. We want a brown pie, not a burnt pie. You know what I'm saying? God damn.
You're fueling anger. You do not understand what's going on here. Jesus. There's a Twitter war happening between the two of you guys, and it's not good.
Okay, so we'll wrap this up by touching in the bowl games. We're approaching. We've got so much to talk about. We'll talk about more. Have we hit everything we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we hit everything. There's nothing really going on. Next week, we'll know a hell of a lot more.
So I'm super excited for the Oregon-Washington game, 7 p.m. Friday, December 1st. I'm telling you, if Bo Nix wants that Heisman, Oregon wins that game.
If he wants it, here's the thing. Washington has the better defense.
They do, but they have not played that way the last 3 weeks.
But I think they're looking forward to that Oregon game because it's the only one that matters. But then again, Oregon hasn't played that great. They played weak competition too. So
Bo Nix has played way better than Big Phoenix Energy. And I think Big Phoenix Energy is going to cost Washington that game.
Where is that game played? Can we look that up real quick?
It's got to be a neutral site.
NCAA scores next week. NCAA football scores.
Oregon right now. This can't be right. Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas.
It's in Vegas. Damn. So
Yeah.
it's going to be in a dome. So
what I'm looking at right now, Oregon's got a 73% win probability. I didn't even see that before I was hot on Oregon.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Oregon team that was the first 8 weeks is not who they are in week 13.
But here's the thing. If they barely beat Washington, it's a wash. Washington already beat them head to head. So what is that? What does a win for Oregon really even mean? Unless they blow them out by 40.
No, they're playing. They're playing spoiler, really. Or what they're playing for really is. What they're playing for is a Heisman. What they're playing for is a Heisman Trophy, bro.
I don't know. They got Oregon.
Does Bo Nix have his Heisman game yet? Has there been a Heisman game yet? Because honestly, the only Heisman game I've seen is fucking Harrison against Michigan.
Yeah.
That's the game that comes to mind, right? When you're talking about a Heisman moment. It may have come in a loss, but that game would have been nothing without Harrison Smith Jr. Ohio State had no offense without that dude. He bailed them out multiple times, and that bailout allowed their tight end to get open twice.
Yeah.
If Bo Nix wants the Heisman, he's going to have a 3-tutty, 250-plus game. No interceptions. Big Phoenix is going to have a 2 or 3 tutty game with a rushing touchdown in there, but the interceptions are going to kill him. And I think Oregon's defense is going to make points off of that, off at least one of the 2, I'm thinking, interceptions from Big Phoenix Energy. And I like him. I like the dude. I think he's going to do really well.
Oh, LSU is 9-3.
Yeah, so that dude's out. I think this is Bo Nix's game.
All 3 teams they lost were top 20 teams.
You want your Heisman losing to the top teams? I don't.
I bet you.
I want my Heisman to have moments. I want
the best player, Charles. I want the best player.
I agree, but we got to.
And I don't believe Bo Nix is the best player in college football. Come on.
No. I agree with. I just said a few moments ago that if I was voting today, it's Harrison Smith Jr. He's
Jaden Davis leads his team in passing yards, rushing yards, touchdowns, touchdown passes. Yeah. 3,812. Dude, the dude has 40 touchdown passes.
Right. So we can definitely agree and argue.
4 interceptions. 4.
Yeah.
10-to-1 ratio and touchdown interception. And he plays in the SEC. That's crazy.
I agree that he's good, but Harrison Smith is going to win the Heisman over him.
And Harrison Smith dropped down to 6th for Heisman in the Heisman polls.
That's crazy.
He might not even make the podium. You got to be in top 3 to make the podium.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. He didn't have a great game versus Michigan. He had a touchdown catch, but
he had 118 yards and fucking a touchdown. That's great.
That's not that great. Considering that there's players out there that quarterbacks are throwing for 530 yards and 6 touchdowns. You got to have a 3 touchdown game.
We've got to respect Michigan's defense in this. All right. That same player you're talking about. That was
your chance. That was your game. You got to play the best versus the best. You can't. You can't say that.
You might be on different sides of the aisle here. I think 118 and a touchdown against that defense is great. I think that's really good because you're not going to get that from. You did not get that from anyone else all season.
Yeah, but you're contradicting yourself because you said how can he be the best player when you showed me his stats versus like Indiana, whatever. So how can he be the best player in the country when he sucked versus those 3 teams?
Offensively, from what I saw in that Michigan game, I'm understanding the hype that came with that dude.
Apparently, Roman Wilson didn't understand the hype because he called him out on it.
I know. That was really well done. The wide receiver core as a group was for Ohio State is not as good as the media made them out to be. But Harrison Smith Jr. was everything that package came with.
But are they, or is it just the bad quarterback?
With a bad quarterback, he would have been even better, dude.
Do you know all three of those receivers, Fleming, Marvin Harrison Jr., and the other guy, were the best wide receivers in their draft class?
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have to be.
Like we stated somewhere in this show already. Kyle McCord was definitely the reason Ohio State lost that football game.
But Kyle McCord, that's the other thing. Kyle McCord was a highly recruited quarterback. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand how high Ohio State
recruited him over JJ. They recruited him over JJ.
Yeah, that's why JJ is so better.
For the first time since, what was it, 90-91 or 90-91-92 or some shit like that. The first quarterback of Michigan to beat Ohio State 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Since that moment. It was fucking magical. It was gorgeous. But now here's my kicker with the LSU dude, right? I think his head coach,
their defense sucks.
I think his head coach lost him the Heisman, just like taking our head coach away from Michigan lost JJ the Heisman. I think that's the scenario that is. If Bo Nix comes out and destroys Washington, I think he's the number one. If Big Phoenix Energy comes out and destroys Oregon, which is very plausible, right? I think he moves into a much tighter conversation. I think he's number 2 or number 3. I don't think there's room for him in LSU. For one, he's done playing. If I'm looking at it correctly, that's
I guess what I don't understand is, how did Oregon lose to Washington if Bo Nix is so great?
I'm pretty sure that was a shootout. I think it just came down to whoever had the ball.
It wasn't a shootout. They both scored. It was like 30-some points. I think they went to overtime, actually.
Yeah.
That wasn't that high of a scoring game. It was just like a 30-30 game. I don't know. Like I said, I think Washington's defense is better than Oregon's offense. That's the problem. Washington plays down to their competition.
And it ended up in a field goal that took it on October 14th.
Yeah, but you're right, though.
It was a shootout between him and Nix, and fucking touchdowns galore. And it ended up with Big Phoenix Energy completing an 18-yard catch for a touchdown, and the extra point afterwards. Yeah, it's just Washington's defense has been good. I guess where I get super muddled with this, bro, is you and I don't look at the fucking Conference of Champions the same way. I think it's trash. I do not think the product that they have over there is anything that brings the Big Ten or the
Charles. We both agree this conference has been absolved since their fucking commissioner did what he did with the TV rights.
But the reason I bring that up is that you do make a buttload of valid points, and the only answer I keep coming to is
it's down to Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. Like, Bo Nix has better stats, but Jaden Daniels has the fact that he's going to be a 1,300-yard rusher and a 4,000-yard passer. That's just crazy. That hasn't happened since the last time somebody won the Heisman.
That's just but that's my point too. Bo Nix has to beat Washington for this.
No, and the thing is, I didn't look at it. They're 10-point favorites.
They got a 73. I
don't look at the percentage. I just looked at the line.
But I'm telling you, Washington's defense the last 3 weeks has not been good, and their offense.
Did you say it's
a
Friday
good
game?
Defense. I caught a little bit of it.
It was a Friday game.
Yeah. That's what I said. December 1st. It's a Friday game. At 7.
Is there any other? What the hell? Is there any other Friday games?
Yeah, there's one other game. It meant nothing to me.
Oh, yeah. Michigan plays 6:30 on Saturday.
Yeah, New Mexico State and Liberty at 6 p.m.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I guess I agree with you, but we'll see. I guess that's our pick.
Yeah.
Charles has Oregon. I got Washington. We'll do a little college football.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because our picks are already true. We'll be hitting.
Yeah, we got our picks going. So Tuesday we'll roll through our picks for next week. Maybe we'll even get some picks from Paul and.
That'd be neat.
But you got to do your what grinds your gears or rotates your gears.
Yeah. We got to pop that out too. There's a couple more games that I wanted to point out here. You got Oklahoma State and Texas. These are all Saturday, December 2nd. That's going to be one of the early games. That's probably.
I don't think that's going to be much of a competition for Texas.
No, I don't think so either. But that I do believe, though, that it could be a heartbreaker for Texas. Oklahoma State plays tough. They've got a good defense. And when Texas plays a good defense, crazy things happen. And then you've got Georgia and Alabama at 3 p.m. Yeah. The only other game I wanted to really scream about is the Army-Navy game, Saturday, December 9th, week 15, according to this. Go Army, beat Navy.
There you go.
If you noticed on the last episode or two, we did not drop a what rotates our gears in an opposite direction. That was my fault. I've been loaded to the sea with opportunities to speak, and they just never came into fruition. So the one I am taking today, this comes after a holiday weekend of horrendous driving, is that at some point in our country, we've forgotten that driving is a privilege, not a right. And I think our instructors need to start taking a firmer stance into this. We have way too many 19-year-olds crossing the borderline. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a whole other story. We got way too many young motherfuckers crossing over into lines, driving erratically. What the hell is going on and what the hell happened? You've got people dying. You've got cars blowing up on the side of the fucking road. It is literally like Grand Theft Auto in some cases. It is outrageous to think that somehow or another these motherfuckers were given a driver's license. How is that even possible? I don't know what needs to happen, but we need to figure something out because driving is not a right. You do not have the constitutional advantage when it comes to driving. Driving is a fucking privilege, and y'all need to remember that pretty quickly. Because insurance companies are going to start boning the rest of us because you're an idiot.
Yeah, fuckers.
For the rest,
it's only gonna. That's the thing. It's only gonna get worse. It's winter in Wisconsin too. It's like,
oh yeah.
Oh man, we just got that snow today. Oh boy, I can only imagine.
Dude. I know, and the wife wants to go to Sam's Club, and I'm like, all right, we just got our car fixed. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's risk it for the biscuit, right? Literally.
It's like, fuck, man. Every year it snows.
Yeah,
it's not a fucking surprise.
Charles, they get worse here because of the bridge. Oh my God, I hear about it from guys at work saying, "Oh yeah, I'd come from freaking Neenah or Appleton, and the dudes are freaking like skidding across the fucking bridge." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bridge, dude. Suspended. It gets icy because guess why? Fucking wind goes underneath it. It freezes constantly. You dumbass."
Dude, I laugh so hard, bro. I laugh so hard. I tell you, every single time after it snows, you go on the road. You only got to wait an hour. You wait a fucking hour because the roads are plowed, they're cleared, they're salted. I'm telling you, our road crews do some shit on those freeways, and it's magical. But you go, and there's fucking 15 cars 30 minutes north and 20 cars fucking on the side of the road 20 minutes south. How? This is so unimaginable. You know how? Because people have fucking forgot, dude. Driving is a goddamn privilege. It's not a fucking.
They don't slow down either.
They don't slow down. They don't leave fucking 5 minutes early and watch how magic your life goes. Oh my God, dude. Sometimes people just fucking,
They don't even think about it.
Oh my, you got to wake up at 7 instead of 7:30. Oh no, then fuck off. You couldn't go to bed early enough? I had things I needed to. No, you didn't. You had things you wanted to do. So you chose to do those things, and now you're like, oh, I'm gonna. It's fucking crazy to me, man. Oh my God. Fuck. And usually it's old people. Oh, I'm
usually
old.
Not always. No, it's been young people lately.
These fucking people, and you parents out there, what the fuck is wrong with you? Don't get me started. I can't do that. I'll start yelling at random people. But as this show goes and as we end it always, listen, we love every one of you. Thank you so much for your support, your clicks, your likes, your pippity paps, your clickety clacks. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate everything you do. And for those of you out there smiling more, thank you. The world needs it. And if you're looking for a smile, Just go out there and smile first. It always comes back.